to mix it up a little bit and go somewhere new. I just personally love new construction, so I think it's fun to get out and see the inventory, have our meetings somewhere else. Do you need me to quit, Earl?
Yes.
Oh, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and still do an early bird drawing. And, that's 210 home warranty that does that for us. It's up to $50.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Whoa. What is Judy doing? Judy is trying to give me a heart attack. I know I didn't think about that. On the floor.
Judy's daydreaming.
These are slippery too.
Okay,
Fall
guys.
right off. It won't slip on
So
the
we're going to
rug.
talk about agent reserve parking of the week here in a minute. And let's go ahead and move on to prayer requests. Mr. Weaver Wiggins said he'd do the prayer for me this morning. So I know we all just were very grateful and thankful last week at Thanksgiving and moving into Christmas. Can be a stressful time. Does anybody have any prayer requests they want to talk about? Hello? So prayer for your brother that he'll have a speedy recovery.
I have a friend who is a longtime family friend. His daughter is 22 and passed away this morning. She's been struggling with liver failure and had multiple transplants, and it's been several years, but she passed away at about 4 o'clock this morning. So just pray for those family.
That's awful.
My niece is having a little procedure up the road today, so.
Pray for a good procedure recovery.
For my brother and his son, you may have heard my last name on the news. My nephew was deer hunting and shot another person.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a neighbor, actually, a good friend, and she passed away.
Oh, it's terrible.
Horrible. Pray for that.
Pray for them. Anyone else? Okay, Weaver.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning and ask that you watch over us and be with us this day and each and every day. We thank you for the many blessings you bestow upon us each and every day and through the Thanksgiving holidays. Good Lord, we ask that you watch over these families and help these sick people recover and help the families deal with the tragedy they're having to deal with. We ask these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
So I know I've got a couple of my in-house vendors from the office in the building. Texas Homeland.
Texas Homeland, get out of quit snoring, Matt. Get out of there, Matt. Come on, man. What's up with that?
Get out of there, man.
Hey, everybody. So I don't really have too much today. Obviously, we do all your title work for you, and we look forward to having your business. But what I wanted to kind of talk about today was we want to do something special for the holiday, and I wanted to kind of get a show of hands on who'd be interested in doing an ornament exchange for the office.
Sounds fun.
I was thinking about that. That's a great idea.
Okay, well, I'll put it in the works, and everybody will just, towards the middle of the month, we'll start bringing ornaments and putting them in a box, and we'll do an exchange right before Christmas. Okay?
Just say that.
What's that? Ornament exchange?
Handmade.
Oh, yeah, handmade. No popsicle sticks, though. Because they're all stained and... Just kidding. So just remember us for your title work. Remember, if you have any questions, about your listings, bring them to us. We'll look at them. I'm working on one for Nancy right now. She brought us the title work the paperwork before she got a contract, and made sure that there was nothing going on with it. So we do that quite a bit. Okay, so thanks. I don't have anything else to do.
Yep, Fairfield Mortgage. Good morning.
Being that we're at a model home and a lot of our builder partners are doing incentives right now to try and get people under contract on some of the houses that they have built before the end of the year. We are highlighting our builder extended lot program. So if you do have buyers that are nervous to build, they think that maybe interest rates might go up before they have the opportunity to close, this enables them to lock for an extended period of time so that they don't have to worry about that. It does allow them to float down within 30 days, so if rates by chance go down, they have the ability to float down within 30 days of closing. And it's a great program for any of the builders that are, have those homes that are trying to close or get under contract before the end of the year. Also, we have a program we're helping sponsor. It's called First Walk. It's for new construction that a lot of builders in the area are participating in, and it enables you to access about 80% of what the builders are offering. 9 times out of 10, they're not putting stuff on MLS, everything that they have. So this First Walk program we are helping sponsor, and if you're interested in that, if you have buyers that are looking at new construction or you're trying to focus on new construction, definitely come talk to us and we can help you with that. That's it.
I'd like to have your card as well.
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
So guys, I want to welcome our new agents. This is Lonnie Lemaster, Vicki Chapman, Ted Jakowski, Melissa Kane, and Robert Spear. Where's my warriors?
So y'all know I've been off a week, right? Right? So I'm so excited to be back. The Warriors, we are working really hard to end the year off with a bang. I see I have a lot of them here, so I'm going to give you a heads up. The month of December, we're going to be focusing on habits, because in 2018, we're going to kill it. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said last week, the week before last. Some of you big teams, you better get on your A game, because I got a group of agents who are going to, they're thriving to take your spots. So on that big 50 board out there, so we're going to be working very hard to meet our numbers. We're going to be focusing on our CGI goals. We're going to implement the never-ending referral system. We're going to be doing the database too. So if you need help with accountability, please come see me. If you have not yet finished your business plan for 2018, please come see me. I'll be more than happy to sit with you and put it together for you. It's not easy, yet it's simple. And so we're excited, and we're going to keep the momentum going. This year so far with the Warrior program being in existence. Last night, I went to a mastermind in Houston, and it's all of the area productivity coaches, and we meet every month, and we're talking about the end of the year numbers. And of course, with this being my first year doing this, I had set some goals just to put, just to throw them out there. And I'm like, not going as well as I thought. However, when everybody else was saying their goals, I'm looking like, and they have 300 and 400 and 500 and 600 agents in their office, and I'm looking at their numbers, and I'm like, my numbers, we're not doing too bad. So I'm excited. It has, I have a renowned feeling about going into 2018, and we're going to kill it, because we're going to get focused, and we're going to set the standard in our office, and we're going to give it everything that we got to be cappers. So, thank you guys.
So guys, for the new construction aspect of the team meeting today, I'm going to turn it over to our breakfast sponsor and hostess here in a few minutes, and she's going to talk quite a bit about new construction. And if you haven't done much new construction in your career, or you're interested in exploring that side of your business, I do want to talk to you a little bit about it today before I turn it over. And I had a couple ideas to share with you. Going over this month's training calendar. We are going to be continuing the never-ending referrals every Friday. Sometimes with the holidays, it'll switch up the dates. You have to watch it. But that's something that came straight from Bold to the next step. We know that a lot of gap in most of our businesses is the actual database and managing the database effectively. And I will bring more and more training surrounding this. And when I turn that to what could I do with new construction in my database, that's a couple of things that I'm going to be talking about today. But if you have not plugged into that training that they gave us for free from MAPS Coaching because of Harvey, I really want you to please talk about it and think about it, because it's really going to help your business in 2018. And then who knows what's going on this Friday night? Christmas party, right? So I will see all of you there. That's going to be a good, fun time to celebrate Christmas together. And then...
Question over here.
Will Mr. Wonderful be there?
He will not. I just spent Thanksgiving with him. He won't be in town. I'm sorry. Brian has a man crush on my boyfriend. But I've heard Santa might be there, so... Oh, this is where I was just talking about. We're on session 8 of Never Ending Referrals. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, or feel like, oh my gosh, I'm too far behind, see me or see Glenda, see Judy, because we can catch you up on the material and tell you how to go in and access it remotely. Okay? Melinda, do you want to talk about the Christmas party at all? Do we need to do anything?
No, we're good on everything. If y'all just be there, and I think we have a sponsor now for the liquor.
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo!
Well, I meant we have a liquor wagon that we're auctioning, so we did need donations for that still. But I think we've got someone that just sent a text.
So we just show up and have fun?
Yes. Oh, please RSVP.
And guys, RSVP if you haven't, so they get an idea for the food. Okay? Now, I'm doing the Toys for Tots. That's what Bruce Sellers said. You know, we should do it every year. And you see the boxes at the office to put some toys in. I'm going to bring one of those boxes over to the Christmas party, so that if you want to just throw one in on the way in, certainly not required, but I've just found we get in the mood and say, heck yeah, I'll throw a little toy in there. And he'll be collecting till December 16th. So those boxes will still be around. What's my bold law for this week? Your business grows to the extent that you do. So anybody that's been in bold, tell me what that means. I know some of you in here have been to bold.
It says personal growth equals business growth.
So if you guys do the same thing over and over and expect different results, if you don't go out there and try new things and learn about growing your business, you'll stay in the same place. So it's about growth. My HAR dues. I'm bringing these up every meeting so that you guys, if you have your head in the sand about your dues coming up and it's in December and it's not fun, but you know that you're going to run your business in 2018, you're going to go ahead and pay these dues, you know, get it over with. I don't know what level of production still doesn't get irritated every year about these dues that we have to pay. But go ahead and get those paid. We're going to have a December listing contest. I'm going to have 3 teams. And I've been telling you for a few weeks, so I want you guys to mentally get prepared. And I'll send you all of the information by the 1st, which is Friday. And we'll have team captains, kind of like bold. Y'all are name your teams. And my intention for you is to have training surrounding listings. Because if you have any kind of limiting belief that you can't list houses this time of year, what I find is that the clients think that. And the sellers think, oh, I should wait. And that's where we'll talk to you about the language of explaining that the buyers that are out buying right now are very serious. Just like new construction, they'll be having all kinds of incentives to close out inventory. So get involved in that listing contest and rev up your business for that first quarter. This is your business planning. So I'm still a little surprised about how Few of you have said, yes, I have my business plan 2018 done. Where I said your business grows to the extent that you do. Just having some simple plans. You go straight into your Keller Williams system and put them in, and it fills it all out for you. And if you don't have a business plan yet from your coach, from me, I would love to just walk you through it. I showed at a couple of team meetings how to go into your system and log into it. I think you can show that next slide, Earl. If anybody says, I don't know how to do it, Anna, that's an easy question for me to answer. If you don't know why to do it, let me help you with that, okay? Please let me talk to you. I'm going to quit talking pretty soon about the 2018 business plan and go to start talking about something else. So I'd love to see those in by the end of the year for sure. Now let's talk about new construction for a minute. Show of hands in the room. How many of you have sold a new construction house to a buyer? So quite a few of you have experience doing that. And the first time you do it, you might say, well, I don't quite understand all the language. It's a little bit different. But what about, have you sold a new construction house that a builder has had you list? Show of hands in the room. So just not that many of you have targeted working with builders, okay? So this is something that I pulled up just real quick, and that I have a video that, what if you said, I want to specialize in new construction? We have a system, a model in this company for pretty much anything, right? And whenever you decide what you want to target, we know there's a lot of growth in new construction coming to our area. Do you guys know the subdivisions? Do you know the new construction inventory? And are you taking the time to learn that, okay? So this was just a marketing plan that I brought. Branding for the project, so let's just say you knew there was some new construction going in on the north side of the lake. You have to know the name of the subdivision, the site plan, which you can get from developers, exterior renderings, like if there's pictures of the exteriors of the houses, if we have interior, at least floor plan, and then, you know, how are you going to target to market these homes, right? It's before you would ever go to talk to or call on one of the builders. Do I have a video in there?
Yeah, move it over.
Or is that next slide?
Oh, sorry. I'm working with
I just want to show you a couple of minutes of this video. Not very long.
Oh, I lost the mouse again. I'm sorry.
You're all right. You got it.
I don't know about volume. That's me. Oh, that's going to be bad.
You can't see it very well either. I'll send this video out to you guys. All it is that you can go to your KW system, set up a new construction page, put in pictures that link to any subdivision you want. So say you want to do this subdivision, and it would link to the properties that were listed. You could do it for all new construction across the area. And it's not very hard. I can show you just right where to go to KW Connect to find it. Just blow this off, Earl, and go to my next slide. It's no big deal. We can send it out to you guys.
Is that page ad, and I'm new, excuse me for that expression, but is that page ad and placer, premium placer?
Just regular placer. So take a look at this picture, and I know you guys can't see real well. This is where I went in this morning in about 5 seconds, and I searched on my own agent website for new construction. And it made me a picture of the map of new construction. It gave me a list of listings. I did any price, so it started at the $1 million level and down. So this could turn into an advertisement that I would do. And I could target condos, I could target waterfront, I could target any area that I wanted. And where can I put an ad like this if I wanted to, you guys? Facebook, right? Email. Lots of places that you could do this to. So it's only so easy to decide that you want to market something and then go out there and try to find buyers. You don't only have to target specific listings, right? So let's just say I wanted some new construction buyers because I know there's all kinds of incentives going on this time of year. Could I easily make an ad and target for a new construction buyer to find me in my name and come to do a deal with me? So I just want you guys to, I don't see a lot of people doing advertising or surrounding niche marketing. And if you want to have some training surrounding that, please let me know, okay? I'm going to send it over to you to tell us the real deal.
All right. Thank you so much. If y'all would pass these around, thank you so much for coming out today. I really appreciate that. My name is Grace Swilkowski. I've been selling new homes for about 7 years now. I am about 4 months with Chesmar. I worked for D.R. Horton and Emerald for the first 6.5 years of my career and was very blessed to be able to be with them. They are publicly owned. And I said, if I ever left D.R. Horton, where would I want to go? And I, hands down, wanted to work for Chesmar. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to share that with you today. Both are good builders, but I think Chesmar's got an edge up on everybody else, and I'll tell you why. First of all, our product. When you walk in, this home will sell for about $350, which you see all the crown molding, all the beautiful art niches, the curved archways. Builders are getting away from that right now because it's expensive to do that. And so everything's starting to look like a box now. Have you noticed that when you're going out, if you're looking at new construction? Well, Chesmar's not doing that. We're going to keep with the things that we're doing. Also with Chesmar, one of the things that we do different, and then I'm going to get into new construction, but I want you to hear this. We take all the risk out for your buyers. New construction scares buyers because they think, if I'm going to have 6 months building my house, what happens if I don't sell my house in time? How much money am I going to lose? Do I want to move twice? How do I make that work? So we collect earnest money at contract, and if for any reason at any time your buyers change your mind, we will gladly refund their earnest money. Our motto is setting a higher standard, and that starts with being a friend, having a friendship developed. I love agents. Probably 82 to 85% of our business is through agents. I never want to cut you out of a deal. That's not true of all builders. There are builders out there that will tell your clients, if you don't use an agent, I'll give you 3% off of the price of your home. That will never come out of my mouth, and we just don't do that at Chesmar. Okay? So that gives you protection. I personally, and you'll know this as you build, but how many of y'all dealt with a crummy sales counselor in a new home? Anybody have that experience?
Oh, yeah.
That is so not fun. That's who you don't need to go back to them. There's people out there that love you, that want to work with you, and will do anything to make you successful. And that's what I feel like I bring to the table for agents. Because I appreciate the fact that you might take a buyer out for 6 months and you're showing them everywhere, only for them to decide, I don't want a new home after all, I'm just going to stay in the home that I have. And you spend all that money and all that time and all that work. Or they'll go out and the customer will go out and they will go to a new home development and they will go ahead and go on contract without you because they think they're going to get a better deal. And nothing can take you, is that like the worst thing that could happen? So you don't have to worry about that. Now, that has happened. I got to say, in 6 years, that's happened to me twice. But it was not something that I was responsible for. The first question I will ask, we do a meet and greet. I'm going to get into new construction now. We do a meet and greet. We're trained, most of us are trained some kind of way, to move a process along with a buyer. It's a little bit different than what you're doing because you do that when you're in the office with them. Find out what they want, you do some searches, you kind of get an idea what they want. We all know that they can start out with a 1-story, 3-bedroom home and buy a 2-story, 4-bedroom home, right? So when you come to new construction, let the new construction sales consultant be your friend. Let them take your buyer through. Because we know our product better than anybody else. And we can point out things that you may not know. Now, when you bring your buyer to me, I'm going to greet you at the door. You're going to give me your business card. And if you've given me a heads up and given me a little bit of information, I'm going to be ready for you. If you just show up, that's fine. I'm going to introduce myself to you. You're going to give me your card. I'm going to look at it and go, oh, I know you. I've heard of your reputation. You are a top-notch agent. And I'm going to look at your client and I'm going to say, you picked a winner. That's going to help them to have confidence in you and confidence in me because we're going to develop a relationship through this. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then I'm going to ask you for permission to speak to your buyer. Let me talk to your buyer because I'm going to discover things that maybe some of the questions I asked you haven't asked or something that I've thought of that you haven't thought of. Then if it's necessary to demonstrate the model, which I do in this neighborhood all the time because I don't have anything finished. So I'm going to demonstrate the model and just point out the things that are standard, the things that are not standard. When you go into new homes, all new home builders have different standard features, and that's where you're going to separate, you know, one builder from another. Some have the sprinkler system included, some don't. Some of them, the crown molding is standard, some of them it's an option. Some of them include the refrigerator and the washer and dryer, some of them don't. You know, so the standard feature sheet is how you compare. You can't just compare pricing, and it's not about price per square feet, right? A barn is $10 a square feet, you know, but a beautiful home can be a lot more. You want to compare apples with apples, and options cost money. So when you're coming in, the first thing, if we can get a heads up from you, it helps us a little bit. First of all, you have to be the procuring cause for your customer to come into new construction. You don't have to worry about that with me. I'm going to ask, the first question I'm going to ask if a buyer comes in without you is, who are you working with? I'm not going to ask them, are you working with a realtor? Why? Because then they're going to think in their mind, oh, maybe I can get a better deal if I'm not working with one. And I'm going to ask them, who are you working with? Who is your agent? Well, I don't have an agent. Oh, you haven't talked to anybody? You don't have a personal friend? No, I don't. Okay, then I'm going to go with that. And if you've been talking to them, you need to educate them on that as well. But if they say, well, you know, I've been talking to this lady from Keller Williams. Her name is Judy, but she hasn't really done anything for me. And I'm going to say right back to her, or that person, I'm going to say, yes, she has. Unbeknownst to you, she's been already researching the market for you. She's been listening to you, but she doesn't answer my phone calls. Oh, don't worry about that. That just means she's a top producer. She'll get back with you. Not to worry. You see what I mean? It's all about how you approach people. One of the things that I would like to know from you in advance is if you are working with a referral from a lender. You know, I appreciate what your lender said today, but builders generally will have their own loan company, and there's a reason for that. You've all had those horror stories of the lender who just cannot get the deal done. Or maybe not on your end because you have a great lender, but on the resale end, they can't get their act together and get it done. That's why a lot of builders do it. We have our own lender. We do an incentive if they use our lender because we can make sure our company president can walk right over to the loan company and say, you will get this done on time. You will get this done. So that's one of the reasons we do it. We have a title company too. We want to close. Every time we have a home that is finished and not sold, it costs us money. And that's when you start to see discounts in new construction because they want to get the home off the books. So a couple things, when you come in and you meet someone, like I said, let the new home counselor walk through the house, let them talk to your buyer. Because like I said, they might be sold on that they want a 1-story, but we have a 1.5-story where almost everything's downstairs, and they kind of like the idea of that extra bonus room upstairs that they could put their grandkids in when they come. And we'll talk to them about stuff like that. And all of a sudden they're like, ooh, that's not a bad idea. And the next thing you know, you have a deal. I'm listening for buying signals all the time, as you are too. Always be closing, the ABCs of real estate. I'm always listening, and what surprises me a lot of times is the buyer's giving me all the signals. They're ready to write a contract, and I had an agent say, but wait a minute, we've got 3 more houses to go see. Why would you want to take them to 3 more houses so we can get the contract done? You're done, you're making your money, and you can have the rest of the day to spend time doing what you want to do. So we're good at that. We are not pressure. I don't want you to misunderstand that. I will never pressure your buyers to buy a home. We are here to help them purchase the home that they want to purchase. So my goal is to find out really what they do want, and there's no perfect home. So if I have something that I think is going to work for them, I want to have an opportunity to show it to them. And if they like it, let's just move forward to contract. Now the contract with the builder's home is different than your truck contract. It has a lot of the same stuff in it though. So if you want to see that ahead of time, just ask us. We'll send you a blank copy of it so that you can see it ahead of time. But if not, you can say, just be honest with your buyer. Every single builder's contract is different. So you can say to your buyer, I've sold several new homes. I haven't sold a Chesmar home yet. I've met Grace, I trust her, I trust her company. She's going to explain the contract. If we have any questions, we'll ask her. You'll get it as we go along. But I'll explain the contract the best that I can, because I don't even know the contract that well yet. But it's not that hard. I'll explain the contract to them. You can't change a builder's contract at all. It is what it is. It's done by lawyers. It's done to protect the builder. It does protect the client as well. We have to sign on the dotted line or you can't have the house. So work with us. We can be a team and get it done right the first time. So the contract's a little bit different. We do collect earnest money. My earnest money in this neighborhood is $2,000, and that's going to be different with every builder that you go to in every neighborhood you go to. It's usually depending on the purchase price of the home. A $500,000 might require a $5,000 earnest money. One of the things, the new construction that is difficult for buyers is option pricing. When you choose options for your home, generally a builder will collect at least 50% of those options up front, and it's non-refundable. When a person comes in here to buy a home, we pick everything out in the showroom, and if they don't go over 10% of the base price, they don't pay a dime for their options. I'm going to put it all in the contract. It's going to be their earnest money. They don't have to come up with extra money. And that's kind of good because a lot of their money's probably tied up in the equity of their home anyway. So they don't have to worry about that. We get to the, 6 weeks before the house is done. They still haven't sold their house and they don't want to lower their price and be reasonable. And you're just headed up to here or whatever. You just call me and say, hey, Grace, this isn't happening. I say, you know what? I understand. It's perfectly all right. We will go ahead and fill out the termination papers, and I'll give them their money back. Or maybe it's a phone call from me to say, hey, your realtor's been trying to tell you that you've got your home price too high. Do you want this house? If you want this house, now would be a good time to really think about pricing your home in the market. Because what do we know? What sells? Price sells. So if they've got it unreasonably priced, and that's one of the things that we'll monitor too with them. If we can do a comparative marketing analysis too, and if we know that the house is overpriced, you know that it's overpriced, the buyer doesn't know that it's overpriced. So they think their house is worth $15,000 more than everybody in the neighborhood because they put, new carpet in last month. So, we know how that goes too. But we'll take the risk out for that. When you go on contract with us, we are pretty much dealing with your client through the construction phase, but we want you to be as included as you want to be. Every Tuesday morning I do construction phone calls with my construction manager. We sit down and we actually call your buyer, and we let them know what we did this past week and what's happening this week. I don't generally call the agent unless I see a potential problem. In that case, my first phone call is going to be to you, because I know that after I get through talking to your customer, their next phone call is going to be to you. And I want you to feel like, hey, yes, Grace and I have talked about that. This is the solution that we figured out. This is what's going on, and this is how we're handling the situation. Everything's fine. Everything will be okay. And that way you know what's going on. We manage the process all the way through and just try to make you look good. So you get the credit and we do the work. How's that sound? Pretty good? So that's what you're going to get if you bring your buyers to us. We do everything. We do the contract. We track the loan process. We get them to title. We're setting up walks. Chesmar does mainly 2 buyer walks. We do an introduction to the house where they go through with the builder and he introduces them to the house when it's finished. Now, my builder that works with me, we came over from another company that did pre-construction meetings, and we have the ability to do that, so we'll do that as well. And then we will probably do a pre-cover meeting, which means that we're going to look at all the electrical where it's at and make sure it's where the buyer wanted it. Now, if they didn't add anything extra, it's probably not necessary. Our build time out here is about 6 to 7 months because we're in the city of Conroe, and there's a lot of hoops to jump through with the city. Other neighborhoods, it's less time, 5 to 7. And if it's a smaller house, it could be up to 4 months. So, let's see, what else do I need to tell you? You can come to the buyer walks, but work with us, not against us. Because all we're all trying to do is get the buyer to closing, right? So, generally when we blue tape, we have very little issues with Chesmar, but a lot of the buyers are getting to where they won't let the a lot of the builders are getting where they won't let the agents come. You know why that is? Because by the time they get done, it looks like there was a blue tape explosion in the house. Really, when you start, Chesmar doesn't have a problem because we've got really good painters, but just so you know that that's out there, you want to stand in the middle of the room, and if you can't see it, it's really not an issue. It's really not, because by the time you get in and you scuff the baseboards on your own, of course we want them to look nice when you move in. We want it in move-in condition. So I'm not saying don't look for things. I'm just saying don't take a microscope or a level and go around, because all it's going to do is make your buyer insecure. They're going to change their mind. I can promise you the house that they're living in is not perfect either. This is the largest homemade or handmade product anybody's ever going to purchase. Builders have warranties on everything, and all the items in the house are warranted. So when you think about new construction, does it usually cost a little bit more than resale? Okay, that's right, it does. So if your buyer's looking in the 350s and they're looking at an older home that's a lot bigger, maybe they would prefer to have a new home with a new roof, a new heating and air conditioning system, new appliances, new carpet, new flooring, new everything, so they have absolutely no maintenance and no risk for years to come. Whereas you buy a 20-year-old home, what do you know is going to happen if it hasn't happened? You are looking at a new roof and a new heating and air conditioning unit, absolutely within the next year or two, more than likely. So, especially these days with the energy efficiency, the way we're building homes now, Chesmar is a very, very good energy efficient builder. We're using the Train air conditioning, heating and air conditioning system. It's a 16 SEER, it's the Cadillac. Most builders don't use it because it's expensive to put in. So we will guarantee their electric bills for heating and cooling. Just everything about the house is energy efficient. There's a poly seal around the entire envelope. All the windows are poly sealed. They're all dual pane, dual film. They've got gas in the middle that keeps the window. You can feel the window inside the house if you go around, and it won't feel cold if it's cold outside. We've got special, this house has one air conditioning and heating unit, but two different thermostats, so it's on a damper system. And we'll tell them if they warrant their heating and air conditioning system, it'll increase their warranty by 5 years. So we're going to take care of your buyers. We're not just going to sell them the house. After they close on the house, from me, they're going to get an email immediately about their warranty and how to go ahead and register for it. And I'm going to tell them, go ahead and go to this site and get your heating and air conditioning system warranted. You'll increase by 5 extra years. We're not going to just leave them there. And then we take care of the house for a whole nother year. I think this might go. Come on in. Hey, it's Teresa.
Nice and late, Teresa.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Teresa's got a house down the street. Now I'll just tell you how we're working together.
She's awesome.
I want your business. I want to earn your business. Teresa's got a resale down the street. It's what, $50,000 less than my expensive. She's not competing with me. We are competing, but not really. I got somebody that comes in. The house I have right now is $357,000. They come in, they're in the 250s or the under 300. She sent me some of her brochures. I'm like, hey, I've got a resale in the neighborhood. It's a former Chesmar home, and even if it's not, I'll help you with your resale.
And how many people have gotten that ever?
I got one down the street, Bell's.
Yeah, give me your brochures in the neighborhood, and I'll pass them out. I'm not afraid of that. They're either going to buy resale or they're going to buy new. For me, it's all about the relationship with you. And, I can do open houses here. I would love to have you come, and if you want to do a walkthrough for your Facebook Live and Facebook the model, I had an agent come in and do that. She got 71 hits, just right then while she was doing it. Anything I can do to help you, I will help you. I can't give my listing to you. Some builders do that, some builders don't. But you can earn a listing. You bring me a buyer and we develop a relationship. I can go to my management team and say, this agent has brought me a buyer. She's constantly bringing me business. I'd really like to give her a listing. Generally what we do is it's kind of a courtesy listing for $500. That way you get a little bit of money, but you get to have your name on it. And then if it goes to the place where it's finished and we need professional photography and we need it done right, we'll give you 1% listing. That's the best we can do. But then if you sell the home, you get 3%. So I want to talk a little bit about what I've got going on in this neighborhood, and then are we just about out of time? I don't want to take too much time. I asked my boss for this meeting if I could have a 1% BTSA on anything that's sold during December. It's very unusual for a builder to give you a bonus to the selling agent, which is extra money in your pocket when a house is not finished. Okay, so they're giving me on anything. Dirt, a halfway completed home, a completed home, anything is a 1% bonus to the selling agent. You're going to get 3% and then another percent. I'm never going to ask you for your money. If the buyer needs a lower price and we can't come to a deal, I'm not going to say, well, you know, if you give up your 1%, we can get this deal done. No, you will never hear those words come out of my mouth. If you decide you want to do that for your customer, you talk to your customer about it, and then you come and tell me that you want to give your buyer something. I will accommodate you any way that you would like to be accommodated. But I will never take your money away from you. That extra 1% is for all those people out there who never bought a home when they were supposed to. So, that just tells you a little bit about that. What I love about this neighborhood, I feel like I'm the best kept secret in Conroe. How many of y'all would have had a little trouble finding this if you didn't have it on your GPS? Anybody? The thing is that you can drive around Conroe and be in every entryway to every home. There's a great big sign that says KB Homes or Lennar or this or that. You didn't see that coming into my neighborhood. It's because I'm in the back of a mature neighborhood and the HOA won't let us have a sign. So I have to figure out how to get people here. So that is really one of the reasons I wanted you to come out. I wanted you to see where we are because my tax rate is really low. My HOA is only $250 a year. My tax rate is 2.33, and I've got all that on the very last page. It's 2.3385. I do have a PID tax here. How many of you know what a PID tax is? Some of you don't. It's like it's 8,400 square feet. Multiply it by that, that's $1,506 a year. That number goes away completely at year 25. MUDs almost never go away. And it is not attached to the value of the house. So over the years, as the value of homes go up in the Conroe area, because we are the fastest growing city in the United States, as the price of homes go up, that PID never goes up like your other taxes go up with the value. When you do the math and add the 2.33 and figure that out on what the appraised value is on the house, and then add the 1,506, divide it by the appraised value of the house, you're going to come up with about 2.9%. Almost every new builder around here has a tax rate of 3.03 or 3.25. So I'm lower in taxes than anyone else. With a $250 a year HOA, I think I'm lower than anybody else. And look at the value. Everything in this home is standard except for the washer and dryer, the flooring, the countertops, and the cabinet color. In other words, all the crown molding, all the tray ceilings, all the archways, the room sizes, all the bathrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. There's one more optional feature. It's the back patio on this particular home. So they get all this. The lighting is all standard. We got the mood light on the top and the low light on this room and in the master bedroom. The ceiling fan is an extra. This side patio is gorgeous. I can slide the house over a little bit on these homes and give them an extra side view. So that's a nice feature too. Most builders will, all of my door handles, plumbing fixtures, all standard. So it's stuff we don't have to worry about picking out. A couple more things I want to tell you. On the back of this is my current inventory. I have a home that just came on the market. It's still got the gone sign in front of it. It's all the way down at the end of the block. It's on the right hand, on the left hand side is that? The left hand side. It says gone. It's got beautiful white brick. That's the address. 3577 Falcon Way. It's a 2,900 square foot, 1.5 story house, 4 bedrooms on the main floor, 3 bathrooms on the main floor. It has a dining room, beautiful kitchen, beautiful white cabinets. The granite in it is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful features. It backs up to no back neighbors and a beautiful view of the golf course that's no longer a golf course. It's It's got a nice yard. It's got a brick paved front and back porch. It's got a game room upstairs with a full bath. So it's a beautiful product. I'm offering a 1% BTSA on it. It should be ready by the end of January. So if you have anybody that is ready to go now, or you know somebody, I would love to have your business. The other home is a 1-story home, 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths, no back neighbors. It's on Woods Estates Drive. This home is perfect for retirees because they're the low HO and the taxes. That's what they're looking for. They're looking at fixed income. They're looking at being somewhere where they don't have to pay a lot to stay in a home. But we also have a lot of families in the neighborhood as well. I think I've covered just about everything. I'd like to just see if anybody has any questions. Yes, ma'am.
What does PID stand for?
PID is Public Improvement District. It's like a municipal utility district. And what they do is they put in all your undergrounds, the sewage and the water. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Grace, I don't have a question, I just want to let you know, I sort of did a quick count, we have about 30+ agents right in here.
Okay.
And we have them in 2 rooms in this floor plan. And for anybody that want a family or even a single person that wants to entertain in the future and have a whole bunch of people over, this is a beautiful.
It doesn't feel crowded, does it?
It doesn't.
We had a neighborhood party. We had a band out here, and that door slides open double. And so we had the band out here, and they were playing. We had a fish fry, we had burgers, catfish, and it was a whole lot of fun. So this floor plan is a huge hit. It also comes in a 2-story with 2 bedrooms down and 2 bedrooms up, and it's like a double master, but it's the same layout. And it has an office in the back too. So, thank you for noticing that. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Yes. Okay, good question. The golf course. You know, the golf course is right now. It's owned by the bank, and they're looking for a buyer. It has not affected our sales or any of the sales in the area. At first, obviously, it did. Everybody was worried. They don't have any contracts on it or anything. Right now, the clubhouse, there's a senior living center that's trying to purchase that. The bank is also trying to donate some of the land to the city of Conroe for a park. So it's just one of those things where we can't tell you what's happening with the golf course. You know, some people are worried about it coming in and being developed. The same thing happened in Atascocita several years ago. I don't know how many of you know about that area, but there was a Atascocita golf course went belly up. For a long time, nobody could sell their houses on the golf course. It grew up. They've been taking care of the golf course, the bank has. Now Atascocita is a golf course again. You know, it's up in the air to know what would happen to it. It'd be very difficult to develop a golf course into houses, particularly if there's only one fairway, because you can imagine the amount of work it takes to get streets and utilities and that in a narrow space. Possibly in the more wide open spaces they could develop it. But we don't know the answer to that. I can't answer that, except for to say that, you know, the residents have tried to buy it. The city of Conroe's tried to buy it. The bank wants a lot of money for it. So it's just up in the air as to what's going to happen. So, it was a public golf course for this neighborhood. Well, for anybody, but it was the Wedgewood Golf Course, and I don't know who owned it. It was independently owned, I guess.
I think it's owned by several different companies, and then I think, I know at one point they were trying to get the members to actually purchase it.
Yes, they were trying to purchase it, but they couldn't afford it, or it didn't work out or something like that.
And when you say the bank, which bank is it? Do you know?
I've got it on my computer. I can't remember.
Prosperity.
Prosperity Bank? Okay.
Out of Dallas. They're out of Dallas.
That didn't ring a bell to me, but okay. Yeah. I'm on the HOA list, so they give me updates as they get updates, but I'm not sure. Anybody else have any questions? Okay. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. I hope you eat all that food. Let's do a drawing. Does everybody have their name in there? I've got a drawing to give away. I've got a $25 gift bag. Here we go. Texas basket. So you can't win if you don't enter. I think you have a better chance of winning this one than you do the
Okay, guys, while she's going around and making sure your card is in for the drawing, I do want to tell you that for your agent of the week spot this week, I want to know 3 new construction subdivisions. They don't have to be only new construction, but where can I take a buyer and show them a house that's under construction? 3 neighborhoods. If you email me that, whoever sends that to me first, I'm going to be giving you the agent of the week.
Why
I
are you trying to get my spot away?
Give away Judy's spot. I just want you to start to be aware of new construction inventory.
Yes, I'll fire carry.
No.
All right, we'll let Anna draw because she doesn't have her card in here.
There you go.
Draw her own name.
Pick one of my favorites.
I'll mix them up. I'm so glad you guys came out today. I'd love to get to know you more. Anytime you want to go out to lunch, I'm buying. Just bring a couple of your agent friends with you.
Marks.
All right. Always wins.
But since you were late, you forfeit your It's on time, ladies and gentlemen. On time, ladies.
Is there a house in Lawrence? Woohoo! All right, guys, thanks for coming out today. Anyone have any haves and wants?
Have a new listing, April Sound, 1,250 feet, 160,000 new granite, new appliances. It's perfect and ready to rock and roll.
Woohoo.
Will not last long.
Brian?
I want everyone before you leave today to meet the resident expert for insurance for your home and car. Her name is Stacy Leisner. She's with Liberty Mutual. Oh, that's right. She was on our experts panel.
She was on the
at the
experts
mega
panel.
panel. Holy cow, she's in the room with us. So please, before you leave today, get her stuff and do a deal with her. I've got a great relationship with her that she's not proud of, but she takes care of our clients.
Thank you for coming, Stacy.
I have a question. Does anybody know an agent in like Lago Vista, Cedar Park, that they think is worthy of a business?
Yes.
Okay. We'll call.
Allison?
Actually, I have something coming on the market in a couple of weeks, but I also need somebody's assistance if they've ever had a property that has an eminent domain, a possible eminent domain situation. So the tenant is moving out this Saturday. I'll be getting the listing on the market in a week, but the seller is telling me that they have been contacted and there might be a possible eminent domain situation that we need to make known to a potential buyer. So if it's over in Conroe, off of 75. So if anybody has ever had an eminent domain situation, please come see me because I need your help.
Okay, anybody other fill your buckets or have some wants, guys? Everybody go out and have a great week, and I'll see you Friday at the Christmas party.
All right.